What's up everybody, it's me Stevie, Super Smart Chibi with Super Smart Wolf, and today I'm going to be reviewing Silent Hill Left with a Sony PlayStation 5. So let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk about are the characters. The characters were wonderful, interesting, and I love them. And the first character I want to talk about is Hinako. Hinako, she was a nice calm quiet girl, and due to her experiences we see different parts of her, and as the world around her changes we see her forced into a life of distress as she slowly dies emotionally inside. Hinako fights against the traditional norms of the time this game takes place in, and although she's a scared girl, Hinako faces the horrors that awaits her and the backlash of her decisions that she believes in, and although she isn't the most emotionally stable person, she got stuff done while dealing with the horrors that this game has thrown at her. I love Hinako. Next is Shu. He was a nice-hearted and caring childhood friend of Hinako. He's more of a playful and chill guy. I like how he brings the fun feel mixed with how Hinako and the other characters are combined all together. I think he was a wonderful part of the game. I love how Shu and Hinako have this kind of space cadet game between them ever since they were like children, and throughout the game you kind of see them call each other partner due to this. So yeah, really cool character. Next is Rinko. She was a drama girl, always into gossip and rumors while trying to spend time with Shu, although she knows that Shu and Hinako has a special relationship between them. She had an interesting story and I liked how Konami handled her. Next is Fox Mask. He was a nice-hearted guy who wore a fox mask and has spiritual powers. I liked how he was there for Hinako, and I saw it, as like he was like a mentor to her, always inspiring her to be more, to continue on, and to be strong and all of that. I enjoyed that relationship between them. He was cool, and I love his scenes. Now, I try not to spoil things. That's on the spoiler section. So yeah. Now, the other characters were creative, such as his, like the bosses in the game. They were wonderful and fun and challenging. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the unique, challenges and puzzles within the game as well. They were fun. There was some, that was like, but then there was like some bosses that was like, oh, how do you defeat them? You need to defeat them in a specific way. So the characters, such as, the bosses, they were really good. The main villains and all. Now, the other characters as well, like Hinako's parents, they were negative, abusive, and really bad, environment. So yeah, other characters, they range. The bosses were really fun in this game. Next is the music. The music was amazing. I enjoyed the intro theme song. It was great. It had some singing. It reminds me of church music, and it had some great instrumentals that fit the theme of the game. I also enjoyed like the songs within the game as well. Like some of the boss sounds, they fit great as well. Some of that music, and overall, I liked it. Next is the story. The story takes place in 1960s rural Japan in a town called Ibisugaoka, and it's about Hinako Shimizu, a schoolgirl who is sadly abused and living in a horrible family situation. They also touch on how Hinako's older sister leaving home due to getting married, and unfortunately the abuse from her father and due to her mother ignoring it all, Hinako suffers more. After leaving home, after Hinako meets up with her three friends Shu, Rinko, and Sakuga, as they are chilling, a fog comes across, consuming the town, bringing demons and monsters and all this horrors into Ibisugaoka. Unfortunately, Hinako is separated from her friends, and now she is off on her adventure to find her friends and survive and overcome her personal traumas, which unfortunately manifested all the horrors going on. And eventually, her and her friends plan to leave the town for good. From here, the story begins. One thing Silent Hill Left continues is that I'm not into, and it's not just Silent Hill Left, other games do it too, is the weapon time things. What was it? For example, you're using a specific type of weapon, and then, a few uses it breaks on you. And Silent Hill Left, you could repair it and find toolboxes and stuff. I'm not really into that mechanic. I see where they're trying to go with it. They're trying to make the game more challenging and fun in that way. And I love challenges in video games, but I prefer a video game to up the difficulty of the enemies, make them, for example, make them more durable, make the attacks more threatening and more, take more damage to the players and all that. I'd rather have that type of difficulty than having to, I gotta find a new weapon, this and that, you know what I mean? That's a little bit annoyance, but don't get me wrong, after a while I was like, okay, I could mess around with this, You tend to find weapons here and there. Some weapons are better than others, so sometimes you have good luck, sometimes you have bad luck. That's just how it is. So, I don't know, that's just how I feel about that one. Next is, usually when I play video games, I tend to not need to revive a lot. And in Silent Hill F, I feel like they kind of really give a lot of items. Like I've been seeing like health potions, this and that a lot. You know, like you could upgrade your inventory later on in the game, which I did, and it helped too. But even then, I just started carrying more of, supplies that's necessary to, stay alive in the game. But I didn't need a lot. So yeah, by the time the game ended, I was like, I still got a bunch of stuff what I do. So yeah. Besides that, I like how this game has a special book giving information about the characters. In Silent Hill F, we have like introductions to the characters, different information, details and stuff. Letting us know more about them. You know what I mean? I enjoyed that. One thing Silent Hill F has is a Fate Shrine upgrade system. This is a mechanic that I love. It was nice and cool, having to see different abilities of Inigo and upgrading and stuff like that. It was good. Because a lot of times I feel like, like don't get me wrong, in horror games, you just, here you go, let's go. And I like that way, don't get me wrong. But here to have like a system like that, it was nice and fun. I enjoyed it. So yeah, the last thing I want to bring up as a funny side thing is, there was a glitch for me in the puzzle. And this is how I know. By the way, if you play the game, it's there's a box puzzle in the classroom, later on in the game. And I don't know what the hell type of glitch. I had to shut down the whole application, reload my save file, and then it worked for me. And I did the same exact thing. You know what I mean? I didn't change a thing, and it worked. So, I don't know, that was a little glitch that I kind of found a little bit weird. So, yeah. I tried to look online and see it. I don't know. No one else had that issue, I don't think. So, yeah. And, yeah, just felt like bringing that up. Now, I'll get to my advice. This is my advice. If you're playing this game for the first time, you're like, I don't know that much about this game series. What do I do? Number 1, have more health. Upgrade your health. Upgrade your stamina, the sanity, then the storage, or Rinko's bag. Now, I would say Rinko's bag and the sanity could go 50-50, you know what I mean? I kind of prefer more Rinko's bag to upgrade more than sanity, but health and stamina are 100%. You have to do that, because a lot of enemies, they, when they, corner you or surround you, you need the stamina to beat the shit out of them, and you need the health to survive the beatdown that they might give to you. So that's just a side advice, especially the bosses, you know what I mean? So that's what helped me the most in the game. Now, don't get me wrong, it's fun, you upgrade stuff, you find the big boss and all that. I enjoyed that about Silent Hill F. I like how you get like points to spend on memories. So this is basically, you could exchange these to help you get like special abilities within the game and different parts of the game. And it also allows you to get other valuables as well. In Silent Hill F, you find Emma's. Oh, Emma's also is one thing that helps upgrade Hinako's abilities in the game. So this is a really cool thing. I think you get it after like beating bosses and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really fun. So after talking about and reviewing Silent Hill F, I think this was a wonderful game. I do get into spoilers in the spoiler section, so if you want to stay for that, it's coming up. But for now, I think Silent Hill F was a wonderful game. It had wonderful characters. I enjoyed the fights, the boss battles were fun and interesting, the story was great, the music and everything, it was all cool and fun. Yeah, and I recommend Silent Hill F if you haven't played it already. So yeah. Now, I feel like when it comes down to it, I think Silent Hill F might be my favorite game of 2025 so far, you know what I mean? We still have Pokemon Legends ZA, so I'm excited for that one. We'll see what happens. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye. Now the spoiler section part. Now, number 1, it was a surprise to me that, Rinko was a jealous bitch. And I was like waiting for Hinako to kick her ass after, Rinko pushed her down the stairs. Even before that, she was acting suspicious. So when she finally, had to face her own demise and all that stuff, I was like, you shouldn't have done that to Hinako. Damn, you hold best kill. Damn you. So yeah. There's a part in the game where Rinko says Hinako is dead, and at that point I was like, maybe my prediction at that point was like Rinko pushed Hinako down the stairs. Maybe that killed her. You know what I mean? Now, I do like, we see it for a little bit, but I did enjoy the part where we got to see Foxmask's face for the first time. Again, it was just a little bit, what was it? It was walking up after getting the key to the schoolroom. That part. Yeah, that part was annoying though. That's a part that I wanted to bring up to say maybe it was a glitch or something, but that was just a little bit annoying. But the Foxmask's face for the first time, man, I was like, yo, that's great. I think when it comes down to it, Silent Hill F has many wonderful moments, and I enjoyed seeing this, come to light. There are many other moments that I would talk about, but then I'm like, overall, I think this game speaks for itself. To describe and cut it down into details, I feel maybe it might be taking away the special charm. But those moments, man, I felt like those are the moments that I wanted to talk about the most about it. So yeah, I feel like when it comes down to it, Silent Hill F was a wonderful game, full of surprises and wonderfulness as well. So yeah, I hope... Oh, wait a minute. There is one thing I want to talk about. Silent Hill F does have many endings. Like, I got the normal ending, you know what I mean? And let me say this. Silent Hill F is a sad game, to be honest. Spoiler-wise, yeah, I wanted to bring this up. I almost forgot. But, so, Hinako is an abused girl dealing with horrors, and in the end... we see police go after her, police sirens go off, and it's a sad scene. It's revealed that the pills that used to heal Hinako were really killing Hinako and destroying her from the inside out. And oh man, that's a sad thing, and in a way it kind of be connected to your life in a way, you know what I mean? Sometimes, something might be helping or feel good, unfortunately, without knowing. It could be abusive, some things you slowly abuse it and then it affects the health. And unfortunately, in Silent Hill F, we see that with Hinako. The pills that helped her heal throughout the game, throughout the gameplay, it was killing her, and unfortunately, she had to deal with what the ending was in Silent Hill F. And damn, man, it ended in a sad note, man. So, yeah, man, let's see. Maybe Hinako comes back in the future. Yeah, I'm just hoping, you know what I mean? As a Silent Hill fan, as a Silent Hill F fan, I'm hoping, maybe we get like she's more cured in the future, and then, she's not reliant on the pills, and, the pills giving her all these delusions and stuff, you know what I mean? And illusions, and then boom, we see her in better shape, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what's the next Silent Hill game going to be like, after this. This was amazing and fun, and I had a wonderful time. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, spoiler section part. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye.